Hello. Well, it's good to be back again on your favorite program, TALKSHOP. And we are always happy to be talking to, is it TalkShoppers or TalkShopians? I don't care what. All of you in our congregation. I call it the congregants, so all of you in the congregations, all of you congregants, welcome to another edition of TalkShop. And you know what we say on this show? Let me repeat the same old thing, even before I start, that this is where we tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. And again, as we say all the time, folks, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. It's something nobody can do anything about. Once is the truth, you can't hide it. They said it's a pregnancy. And you can hide it for maybe 1-2 months. By the time therefore manna, it is showing. You know, whatever you do, the truth will show, and truth crash to earth will rise again. And what we have now introduced is a special message to what we call the Apostles of Jandam. When I say Jandam, you can substitute it with nation records. Apostles of Jandam and Apostles of the rich and riches. Please be alert, because we are determined to crush your Jandam with the truth. You're very, very, very determined, man. Trust me. Yeah, and we are not joking. And then finally, the question that all of you ask is, what time is it? And the answer that we have been giving constantly is nation time. Thank you, it's nation time. You know something interesting? A friend of mine saw me yesterday and said, okay, KSM, I've been following TalkShop. That's one thing that I wanted to bring to your attention. Man. He said, KSM, you're talking about nation time. But KSM, are you aware that unless we get together as a nation, we cannot build this nation? That's what he told me. He says, Charlie, I support what you're saying and I believe what you're doing and everything, but it is on another angle, a very emotional campaign you're waging. So I don't catch me, it's an emotional campaign. And I said, why? He said, the truth of the matter is you need everybody to come together to build a nation. So in his assessment, the fact that we have a majority and minority, the fact that we have a government and opposition, that alone in this assessment means that it's going to be very, very hard to do nation building, because these two poles are always apart. The majority and the minority are apart. Government and opposition are apart. So his logic, and he was trying to explain to me, is that KSM, I support what you're doing, and many of us do. But do you realize that unless we get these two poles together, nation building, it won't happen. And I said, listen, my chap, I understand what you're saying, but I disagree with you. Do you know why, folks? It is amazing how one leader with determination, one leader with a vision, one leader with dedication can do for his or her nation. Folks, and that's true. So yes, there'll always be the force and the against. And the weird thing, it is natural. You have to expect it. It is even unnatural to expect that everybody is together. Trust me, it can never happen that for some reason everybody is together on the same plane. And then you say, well, now that we are all together, now that we're on the same plane, let's go to the next level of building a nation. That will never happen. If that's what you're waiting for, trust me, it won't happen. But let me assure you, if you have a leader who is dedicated, a leader who has a vision, and a leader who is striving to build that vision, trust me, he will carry the people along. And at the end of the day, you realize that that single leader who has a vision and who has a drive and who has the passion will end up building the nation. Trust me. I mean, say King of Satire. And Nkrumah started it in Trove, and Nkrumah drove us very, very far. And I remember what Nkrumah said, for those of you who are young who don't remember. He kept saying that, what did he say? Seek ye first the political kingdom, and all things shall be added unto it. That's what he said. And even then he got so many arguments. Kwame, what do you mean by seek ye first the political kingdom? You know, you should see the economic, you should see the spiritual, you should see all the other things before all things are added unto it. But Nkrumah said, no. Seek ye first the political kingdom. Everything else will come. And do you know what Nkrumah meant by that? Come together politically as one nation, one vision, and focused, and everything else will come. So yeah, honestly, when Nkrumah took over, yeah, you know, we got the political independence. Political independence means that we broke away from the British. We had our own flag before independence. We were using the British flag, from the Union Jack. That is what we were using as a colony. But when we got independence, we flew the Ghana flag. As Nkrumah was declaring that at long last, Ghana is now, we are independent. As he was doing that, the Union Jack was going down and the Ghana flag was happening. That's political independence, so, you know. But trust me, it takes about 200 years of the political independence to now establish economic independence. It takes a long time to now establish a mentality that is no more colonial. You may have the political independence, but your mentality is still colonial. That takes a long time. But Nkrumah said, yeah, I know it takes a long time, but at least let's start first with the political independence, which we got what? Which we got. And what to date, unfortunately, we are still battling with is the mental independence. We're still battling with that. But even that is on course. And eventually, if we stick to the path as Africans, when we start believing in ourselves as Africans, trust me, we will eventually break away from the colonial mentality that we have. But trust me, that's the most difficult part. I can say the struggle for independence, as difficult as it was. You know what Nkrumah took us through, all the strikes, the ex-servicemen, the market women, all the hustles of Ghanaians to get political independence. That was part one. Oh. Part two is between you and I, how we can now fight to liberate our conscience. When we liberate our conscience to the point that we say now we are independent, even our mentality is no more colonial. But we'll get there. Right now, the mentality, as much as we want to talk about our independence and everything, the mentality, I'm telling you, is still very much colonial. Or let me not say very much, let me say to a large extent colonial. And I'll do a different segment where we can actually analyze and see how deeply the colonial impact is still on us. But we'll get there. Now, all this I'm saying, KSM, why are you talking so much over politics and colonial independence? No, I just want people to understand that our mentality is partly colonial. And the colonial mentality thinks, unfortunately, that we now owe allegiance to our, shall I say, colonial masters? I hate to use that phrase, colonial masters. But the British, Ghana was under British rule, so the British were our colonial masters. We have to get to the time where we realize that the British are no more. We are no more flying the British flag, the Union Jack and all that thing. It's no more. We are now a proud people as Ghanaians. We must know our own and worship our own and believe in our own. We are still getting there. And after all the long talk, do you know why I'm saying all of this plenty? You know the embattled Chief Justice who disagrees with what is going on in Ghana regarding Supreme Court decisions, regarding all the things that are going on, regarding the petition. She decided that, Charlie, you Ghanaians, what do you know? and in her colonial mentality, very sad though, but in the colonial mentality, she believes that maybe she can carry the case. She took it to ECOWAS. We are now still waiting to hear what ECOWAS is officially saying on this issue. But even before that, folks, what are we experiencing? She's taking it to the Commonwealth. Oh, colonialism, I bet you. Because in the mind, she's going to the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is the UK. Honana, ye colonial victims. Ghana is considered a quote-unquote Commonwealth country. Even though we have gained our independence from the UK, and Ghana is now a sovereign country, to a large extent we are still considered, we are still part of the Commonwealth. Who's Commonwealth? Me, I'm looking forward to the time where Ghana will say, even the Commonwealth, we are not a part of it. We are Ghana. If there's anything that anybody wants to do, deal with Ghana. Our power is Ghana. Our history is Ghana. Our struggle has been Ghana. So if you want to deal with that as Ghana. Don't deal with that as though Ghana cried they were formerly part of the Commonwealth. To hell with that. If you want to build this nation, trust me, these are one of the key things that we have to start understanding, that we are not part of any, we are no longer, because we were once. But now when we talk, we don't see ourselves as Commonwealth. Let's see ourselves as Ghanaians. Let's be proud Ghanaians. So the Chief Justice decided to go to the UK to approach the Commonwealth. The colonial mentality says, let me take the case further. Let me move away from Ghana and take it to a higher zone. Let me escalate this case from Ghana. I've been to the ECOWAS, they say they will come back with a response. Let me even escalate. So from ECOWAS, where do we end up? The Chief Justice take the case to the Bar Council of England and Wales. Woo! Sometimes it called the Bar Council of England and Wales. They escalated. We took it to ECOWAS. Now let's be taking it higher than ECOWAS. Even Nigeria was one time under the Commonwealth. It's still under the Commonwealth. So let's take it beyond Nigeria. Let's take it beyond ECOWAS to the Bar Council of England and Wales. Said, this is the petition I'm battling Ghana against, and I want the glorious, the high, the most respected Bar Council of England and Wales to back me up. So do you see what I'm talking about now? Colonial mentality. The issue is in Ghana. Deal with it in Ghana. Let's resolve or not resolve it in Ghana. And accept what Ghana states. But no. We have to take it higher. So let's take it to the white folks who once colonized us. Let us take it to the Bar Council of England and the Wales. Let us take it to the Council of Legal Experts. Outside Ghana, colonial mentality, yanko higher, you know. And let me tell you something, folks. What really, really pains me. What really pains me is that the Bar Council of England and Wales and the CLA, the Council for Legal Association, they came up with a statement to Ghana. They came up with a statement to Ghana. And please, even before I talk about the statement, listen to this. If you're dealing with somebody that you respect, if you're dealing with somebody that you think that this person there, we are equals. If you're dealing with somebody that you really believe that you are at par, it's different how you communicate with them. But if you're dealing with somebody that you think that these people, they are beneath you, and I wake up away, they are beneath me. If you're dealing with people that you do not respect, if you're dealing with people that you think are below you, there's a completely different way in communication. How you communicate to somebody that you respect, somebody that you believe that you are equals, is different from how you communicate with somebody that you think they are beneath you. And all I'm saying is that even the communication that came from the Bar Council of England and Wales just suggested how much they think of us, or how much they don't think of us as equals. Because the Bar Council of England and whatever, the law, whatever association, they could have simply issued a statement that we have listened to what your Chief Justice is saying. Please, we plead with you, number one. Or please, we urge you. Or please, we recommend. That is how you talk to an equal. You say, we urge you, we beg you, or we recommend, or please kindly consider. That is how you speak to somebody that you think is an equal. But when you don't think of them as equals, you know what you say? You say, I demand that with immediate effect, restore your CJ. That's the message they sent us. They demand. And you said they are urging us, so. And you said they are appealing to us, And you said they are recommending. And you said they are pleading. No. They say they demand that with immediate effect, let us restore our CJ. Master, are you really thinking what I'm saying? And are you understanding the kind of contempt? I don't care if they are British, what do you call it? They are called the BCEW, the British Council of England and Wales. I don't care. I don't care if they are the legal association of British. I don't care. I'm saying I care about the fact that you disrespected my country. No, let's be frank. Canada is part of the Commonwealth. Canada is. Australia is part of the Commonwealth. I want you to think of a case where, let's say, somebody from Australia or Canada has gone to this British Council of England and Wales to present a petition. And if it was Canada, the language they would have used, how dare do you think that they would even think of using "we demand" to Canada? It's to your Commonwealth state. We demand. No, they would never use that. Why? Because they are considered as that one is Europeans. Only abroad to say, let's deal with them with respect. Let's not deal with them with disdain. But when CJ went there and they were writing to our Attorney General, they say they demand that we restore the CJ with immediate effect. Who born dog? Who are you? Once again, let me ask the British, let me ask the Council of England and Wales, who the hell are you? That when you're communicating with my country, you don't have the decency to appeal. You don't have the decency to recommend. Who the hell are you that when you're communicating with my country, you demand? Who born dog? Who born dog? So folks, look, I'm just saying this. I think, number one, it is very, very unfortunate that the Supreme Court Chief Justice has taken to this level. It was unnecessary. I don't know who her advisors are, but to me, it was totally unnecessary. Let me tell you what politics can do to you in this part of our world. Politics will raise you like this, this high, and bring you down crashing like this. That's what politics can do to you. Because our politics is needless, our politics is partisan, And if you follow it, it will raise you this high and leave you crashing like this. Look, this whole thing that the BCEW has the nerve to write to Ghana and say, we demand, born dog. This is a law that has been on the books in the 1992 Constitution. It's called Article 416. It's the same law that has been in the books, and for your education, that was a law that Anodon Pre, who is now with the MPP, the same law Anodon Pre used, and that was the petition he filed, and that is how Laura Ramte of the Commission of Shrag was taking off. The same law! And Sasayo. It was the same law that was used against Charlotte Osei. The same petition quoting the same law that was used against Charlotte Osei. And she was removed from office. So now, all of a sudden, the same law comes up again. There's a petition against the Supreme Court judge, and all hell breaks loose. Is it because you're using a different law? Or is it the same law? And trust me, folks, if it's the same law, then what is all this fury about? And I think at this point, the best thing I can do is to quote the Chief Justice herself, who said, the law is the law. Listen to her.
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
You heard her. I said the law is the law, which means that the law remains constant. The law doesn't change. The law is the rule of the law, not the rule of any political party, not the rule of any agenda. The law is the law, and that is what she said so eloquently. The law is the law. So my folks, I'm asking you today, how come all of a sudden the law is no longer the law? How come people are up against the same law? I remember Richard Ahiagbele actually went to the extent of saying that if the CJ is removed because of this law, they'll make sure that Ghana is ungovernable.
When you need Article 146, no, and who was some?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, no, you Chief Justice will pretty hot. Chief Justice to be a baby, a petition, a back through the day, or back trigger process, because all that's here, Emma Ghana for I am money to me, and track Ghana has some Gima, or not some Gima on your to make this country ungovernable for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
I remember my good friend Dennis Miracles Abuaji saying that he doesn't understand why Ghana is so calm. The Ghana should be up in arms and very, very against what is going on.
I don't know why, but I get a sense as a NDC former caster spell be good on my nose. Sir, because you see, who didn't hear? I say Chief Justice here saying and I mean, my friend say a serious matter because when I don't expect anger, I expect sadness, I expect person who are who be person who say I don't know.
The same law, Dennis Abuaji. What is different? The law is the law is the law. So Loretta Lamte got caught in the law. There's a petition. It went through the due process, and she was fired. Charlotte Osei, a very good friend of mine, was caught in the same process. It was the same law. Charlotte Osei was fired. When Charlotte Osei was being fired, did you hear anyone whatsoever saying that if you fire Charlotte Osei, we will make Ghana ungovernable? No, it doesn't make sense. Why doesn't it make sense? It's because the law is the law. And that's the law. So I guess what I'm saying today is that what is so different about the Chief Justice? Has there been a different law? Is it the same law? And if in fact it is the same law, which it is, then she herself says you can make all the noise you want, you can make all the arguments, you can put out all the fury. She herself says the law is the law.
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
So can anybody tell me now what is different about the law? Maybe I don't get it. And what I like about myself is I understand my limitations. It's me a lawyer. So I just speak from the view of common sense. But maybe the lawyers can come and tell me. The Ghana Bar Association. You are the lawyers. You are the Bar Association. Come and explain to Ghanaians what is different about this law. Not only that, explain to Ghanaians that somehow the head of state, the president, JM, did not go by the law. Because from where I sit and from where many of us sit, he went by the letter of the law, and this is the result. So how come all of a sudden the law is no longer the law? Folks, I don't want to talk too much. All I want to say to the Commonwealth is that actually we are no longer under you as colonial. So if you want to approach us with respect. Approach us with dignity. Approach us like we are approaching people who know what they're doing. But don't sit in your England or somewhere and say, I demand. Who born dog? Commonwealth with British one, why England they will say, who born dog?
Who born dog? Who born dog? Who born dog? Who born dog?
And folks, I am so glad that the Attorney General penned a response to them. I am so glad the Attorney General penned a response to them. And the Attorney General pointed out in his response that everything we have done here in Ghana has been by the book. Everything we have done here in Ghana has been by the Constitution. Mr. Attorney General, I'm glad that you gave them that response, but because if that response had come from me, you are very charitable. Thank you. So the way you're a politician and you have to be charitable. You are the Attorney General of Ghana, so gladly you are charitable. So the bar of Commonwealth and East England, you're lucky that the Attorney General responded very, very gentlemanlike, very cool, very temperate. Now you come from me and come over to Musamia. Who born dog? Folks, let me stop here before I get boiled up, because when I go boiled up, then it will go into other areas. All I'm saying is actually let's build this nation now. And these are things, by the way, which are part of nation building that we should be very, very aware about. That the law will be misinterpreted and misquoted and do things when somebody decides that they are not in favor of it, to the extent that they can even declare that they will make the country ungovernable. Let us beware of all these things as we try to build the nation, folks. Let's keep the focus. And this is something that I sometimes just occurs to me. Even if the law says, oh, you are a free woman now to become Chief Justice, how are you able, after all this hostility you've gone through, be able to work well with the executive and say, oh, now everything is going to go? Is it not even possible? I've said this before, that somehow, and I don't know why, the NPP feels entitled. It happened to Charlotte Sayabonagui, it's okay. It's okay. But when it happens to the CJ and the NPP is not happy, then that becomes a crisis. NPP, please stop that. Stop feeling entitled. I beg you. Stop feeling that you are bigger than the laws of Ghana. Calm down. Join us. Let us all agree that in our Ghanaians, it will all be subject to the same law. But don't tell us that when you disagree on how the same law has been applied, you're going to make Ghana ungovernable. Yes, sir. I beg, join Ghana, join this crusade to reset Ghana. And Your Excellency, President Mahama, you have said that you're going to reset Ghana.
But there is hope on the horizon. Today should mark the beginning of a new opportunity. An opportunity for us to make a difference in our governance and our economic management. We shall reset our dear nation, Ghana.
And that is why somebody like me and plenty of people like me, we are giving you all the loyalty and support to reset this country. So please don't be distracted by anything that comes from the woodworks. Stay focused. Let's build Ghana. Unless we do that, the dream will be missing. And as I've said in the beginning, even one person with the dream, dedication, and the vision can bring change to a nation. So I'm encouraging you, please stay focused and don't get distracted, so that we all can say one day that in fact Ghana has risen again.